Hey loves, welcome. I'm Fix, and this is 2020 Fix. I have had a huge week full of opportunities that I never saw coming. I did some content for a gospel channel. I had a couple photography studios reach out to me to take pictures of me. These are things that I didn't organize myself, but because I have consistently been putting myself out there, and it's been less than a year. I mean, this YouTube channel is like a month old. I continue to get these really amazing opportunities that I would never have put on the bingo cards for myself this year. And all that is to say is that it's got me thinking about this thing about platforming yourself. So I've been in the game for a while, and I've had lots of amazing things happen to me. I have also had seasons of dryness where it was just cobwebs. Dry. Is it cobwebs? Cobwebs. Try. Not an opportunity in sight. And it got me thinking, what am I doing differently? You know what I mean? NYU, the grad acting program, it's a 3-year program. It's very intense, very vigorous. Things start to get a little bit easier in the third year where you're starting to sell yourself. You are doing showcase where you go to each coast and show yourself to the agents. You're like, look at me, I'm so talented. Pick me, pick me, pick me. We can get into that psychology in another episode. But another thing that happens in the third year that's interesting is free play. And they really pushed us to get creative and create, which is what this episode is all about. This episode is all about being the creator that you are. We're created in the image and likeness of the creator, which means that we are creators. That's what we're brought to do. However, if you spend your time consuming, then you don't really have much space for creation. But back to the NYU thing. I did two projects for my free play. I did a documentary, which was really, really cool. I really loved doing that, especially coming from a film production background. And I also did a play. So I had 2 projects. So essentially, I graduated with 2 projects from NYU. But you know the thing at the back of your head where you're like, yeah, but I want a project on Netflix. Yeah, but I want a project on Hulu. Yeah, but I want a HBO show. Yeah, this is great. And at least I know I can put on a play. But I really want, it's again that to be saved thing. I want that once in a lifetime opportunity, not even once in a lifetime opportunities, because these opportunities, they're around. There's opportunities. Guys, there's opportunity. It exists. There's one thing you need to leave my content with is the knowledge that there's infinite amounts of anything and there's scarcity of nothing. Okay? But there was this hope, collectively, I think, for your big break to come in and swoop you up after your graduation and essentially save you, right? Be the dream come true that we hear about, that some of us went to acting school about, where you graduate and then you become the star because some agent discovered you. Mind you, I was discovered. I was discovered by a former VP. You see, I have crossed over, Jesus. I'm so proud of that blunder. I went from VP of CAA, which is one of the biggest talent representatives in the world, to VC, which is venture capitalist, which is a more businessy terms. All that is to say, I'm just proud that I made that blunder because to some extent, it means that I've sort of de-pedestalized that whole world of representation and Hollywood and making it there and all that, which is fine. You know, there's space for that too. But my manager who discovered me in my third year was an Emmy award-winning producer. And, I was one of the lucky ones. I was one of those who was scouted during the program, I never really had a moment where I didn't have representation after graduating. I always did. But let me tell you, they dropped me. Yeah, they dropped me. And that is just to say, it's not so you can feel sorry for me. Look at me. Honey, I'm fine. Okay. But that is just to say, you don't put your faith in human beings. Okay? You don't put your faith in beings. Nah. Because that's not where your blessing comes from. God uses people, circumstances, events, sometimes disastrous events, to bring blessings to you, right? So my former manager was just a conduit for potential greatness. But I hung on to that management. I hung on to that agency. With my teeth, the skin of my teeth, the skin of my nails, my skin even. And they dropped me. After that, I remember the scramble. I remember the scramble for new representation, and I felt so rejected, unwanted. There was something wrong with me. They had their reasons for dropping me. I won booking. Okay? It's not personal. I just wasn't booking. And so I got another agency, and they were great. I loved the team. 9 months later, they were in the Hollywood Reporter because they were mismanaging money and they weren't paying their clients, or they weren't paying them enough, or they were cheating them or something. And they shut down. So, after that, I didn't go out and look for representation. I wasn't bothered with that for some strange reason. I met someone at an audition the other day, and she asked me how I was. I said, I'm good. I'm feeling relaxed. And she was like, yeah, no, for some strange reason, I'm also relaxed. And I'm like, well, that's a good thing to find strange, And what I really meant by saying that, I wasn't trying to be funny. I was just trying to say, like, yeah, sometimes it's a good thing not to stress, even when we're surprised. I was surprised that when KMR, the agency was KMR, when it went under, that I didn't scramble for new representation. I might have sent an email or two out, but no, at some point I just dropped it. I just dropped it because I knew that this is not the reason for my opportunity, right? So back to the question, like, all these opportunities are coming at me and I ain't doing nothing except speaking into microphones. I make people laugh on Instagram. I share advice. I share, carousels, wisdom, things that I've learned in this short but seemingly long life that I've had. And I guess on some level it's resonating. And that's how I have created this opportunity, because I'm creating. And since December, when I went home to Cape Town, December was really a month of grinding for me. I didn't really relax. I'm just lucky that the ocean's right there and I get to be in nature as often as I was. But really, I worked the entire time. And I was working based on the premise that I'm going to find my value. I'm going to package my value, and I'm going to share my value with the tools that I have right here and right now. And they have to be enough because they're all I got. So as I started creating on top of the social media stuff that I've been putting out there since, July, I have attracted these really cool opportunities. I've spoken on radio stations, I've spoken on podcasts, I've spoken on, I told you this week, the gospel channel, and brands reach out. I get my hair done for free. These are all really amazing things, and surely, yes, there'll be more, I know. But it's just, I think about the version of myself that was graduating NYU, right? This is Tish. This is the SOA factory. And I'm thinking about how she thought that it was going to be The Agent, or it was going to be HBO, or it was going to be Netflix that would save me and give me importance. It's all me. And the more you pedestalize something above you and what you're capable of doing for yourself, the more you give your power away. The more energetic space is created, some would say. When you make something or someone more important than you, it necessarily becomes more effortful to get it. That's the math, right? Otherwise, why would you even deem it more important? Or why would you deem them out of your league, for example? Because it's hard. You've now told yourself the story that this thing that I want is so good that it's gonna be hard to get because it's so good. And it's better than me in a lot of ways. It's out of my league. Once you start thinking that way, you make that true and you create space necessarily between you and that thing. Everything needs to be brought here, down here. Me too. When now you must come down here. Come, Netflix, down here. HBO, come down here. You know what I think of? I had this really amazing thought this week because there was something that my body was craving. And this is where the mechanics of change can become a little bit tricky, where you know intellectually that I'm pedestalizing that thing. But your body, because it is addicted to the emotion of unworthiness, will keep trying to throw up thoughts to your mind to be like, remember, we want that thing so that we can feel unworthy, so that we can feel like we're not good enough. This is what we do. And I could feel my body kick into that resistance, unworthiness, not good enoughness. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, that thing is no more God than you are, Fix. And you're making it God. You are the same. Okay? With that thing that you want, especially if you really want it, and that's like, want is not the right term because that implies the not having. But if you feel like it's in your destiny to experience that thing and it's calling your name, then it's a possibility for you. If you can see it, it's a possibility for you. It means it's there. It just means that you have to line up energetically with it. When you're busy pedestalizing it, when you're busy affirming the belief that it's hard and it's out of your league, you're making it very, very difficult to align with it. In fact, it's impossible. You're not aligned with it. It's separate from you. When you create, which is what I've been doing, which is what has been unlocking all these miracles in my life, when you create, you almost like collapse space and time. Get out there, create, platform yourself. Your platform is enough. The tools that you have, if you have a cell phone, which you probably do if you're watching this, that is enough. That is enough. You are enough. Your surroundings, they're enough. There's people who have so much less than you do. There's these content creators who live in informal settlements, corrugated. They're creating from that, and it's their story. And they have amazing engagement, support, followers. They're sharing who they are intrinsically. They're sharing their aspirations. That is inspiring for someone who's also trying to move out of a shack and out into something else. That is inspiring. At any level where you can be of value, is what I'm trying to say. And we're human beings. We'll always want to go to the next level. But we also have to, Dr. Joe says, you want to be tired but happy. Yes, thank you, God, for what I have, and I want more. My plate is full right now. Got a lot going on, but yes, more please. I'm so grateful for this. More please. So create, get out there, be yourself. That's the only way you're going to be able to compete with AI anyway. Trust me, as someone who's faced that AI has hijacked and I have sold, my face has sold everything from kitchen counters to really expensive toothpaste. Trust me, you're being yourself. You can beat even your own AI. I think I've done pretty good. From June of last year, when I started posting mid-June, to now, I've 10x'd my Instagram following. And I'm having the most fun, okay? I'm having the time of my life. I speak a lot into cameras, into the ethers. What comes back is affirming of everything that I have just shared with you. So I'm wishing you all the best in your creation journey. Wishing you all the best in life. I'm wishing you all the best in finding yourself, in finding your God frequency, that gift, that essence of who you are, which we are waiting for and excited to receive. Get out there. Start creating. You have magic in you. This has been 2020 Fix. It started when I made a conscious effort to be one with my value, to believe, to know that my value is intrinsic, to know that I was born with value, to know that I deserve big love, big money, big success, because I exist, right? When I started knowing that, that's when I started kicking into my creativity, because I knew that I had value to add to the world. I have value to add to the world. And at every turn, the world confirms that for me. At every turn, I am mesmerized, really. I don't leave my house. I don't have any business leaving my house. I've got work to do. I'm writing. I've got a tech platform that I'm developing. I am also packaging my wellness stuff, my mind first stuff. What else am I doing? I go to the gym, and then I go to podcasts, and then I go to photo shoots, and then I go to interviews, or go present some shit, or am on a radio interview. How is that happening? I mean, it's a little mind-boggling, but at the same time, it's not, It's the mathing in some ways. When you know your value, when you understand that you are intrinsically valuable because you're here, you will go about the business of A, finding that value, B, sharing it with the world, C, trusting that you will be divinely compensated for sharing that value. Because we all have something. We all do. We all do. Of course, I could tell myself a story that I'm a black woman. I'm whatever. There's no shortage of stories I could tell myself that I could also confirm, but I'm done with that. I've been there, done that. I don't even want the t-shirt. You can keep it, honey. I don't even want that t-shirt. Anyway.